Well, hello, my name is Clement Pepe. I'm a success coach. A little bit about me. I've been doing this now about 32 years. I've been coaching small business owners, salespeople, students, teaching them how to get the best out of themselves. I'll tell you a little bit more about that a little bit later, but I want to talk about this video that we're doing here. I want to do this video to give you an idea of the law of attraction. You've probably heard about it a whole bunch of times now, law of attraction. But I want to break it down into a very, very simple terms. And I like to use kind of graphs, not kind of graphs when I do the video. And so I'll be doing that. I'm going to be sharing a screen with you. And what I'll ask you to do is just listen to this video all the way through, because you're going to get a lot of good information here about how to access the law of attraction and why it's so important for you to access it in regards to what you want. The interesting thing about the law of attraction is always in effect. So whether we like it or not, whether we know about it or not, it's still going on. So I want to talk today about how to get the most out of it in regards to you and what you want out there in the world. So I'm going to share a screen with you, and I will put that up as we speak. And I will start it from the beginning, just a little information about things like that. You want to start your videos from the beginning so that you have the whole screen to share. So again, what we're going to talk about is the law of attraction. So the law of attraction really basically, just for simple terms, the law of attraction basically says that whatever our predominant thoughts and conversations are, we attract from the universe. So let's use that as our definition of the law of attraction. Whatever our predominant thoughts and conversations are, we attract from the universe. So how it works is this. It's a very simple process, really, not complicated, very simple. I'm not saying it's easy to use. What makes simple easy is when we keep practicing simple. So we'll teach you how to do that. But the first thing that happens is that you observe something out there in the universe. So that's step number one of the law of attraction. You observe something. Step number two is that you create a thought about that observation. So first you observe something, then you create a thought about that observation. The next thing that happens is that thought creates a feeling. Okay, so you have an observation, you create a thought, that thought creates a feeling. And then what happens is that feeling creates an emotion. Right? See how it's working now? So we have an emotion now. So that emotion now, what happens, that has a frequency to it. And what that frequency does is it attracts similar things on that same frequency from the universe. The universe, again, law of attraction, whatever our predominant thoughts and conversations are, we attract from the universe. And for our principles, I'm a very simple explanation kind of guy. So what we're going to do is when we talk about the universe, we're really talking about everything outside of us. So that'll be our definition of the universe, everything outside of us. So we attract whatever is on that similar frequency. Now, what one of those things do you think you can control? Can you control the observation of the something? Can you create your thought? Can you create your feeling or control? Can you control your emotions? Can you control the frequency that those emotions come on? Or can you control what it is that you attract from? One of these things you can control. One. And what that one thing is the thought or meaning you're making about that observation. Everything else is lining up with that thought. But the thought is the one that you have control over. And I again, whenever I talk, I always like people to listen, not like I agree or I disagree, because we got a lot of things that we're coming and bringing to this moment about what we've made up, what we've seen, what we haven't seen. So I'm going to ask you to listen from a place of possibility of what we're talking about here, and then go out and try this on, see if it fits. Wherefore, almost like the class, you try this jacket, see if it fits. Doesn't fit, bring it back. I'll take it back. But if it does, you can keep it. It's yours for the rest of your lives. So now, I want to give you what I call the key or the meaning to life. I bet you've been waiting for this, huh? The key or the meaning to life. And what that is, and I want you to write this down. If you haven't been taking notes, I would say this is a good time to start. But what the key or the meaning to life is, that life is a conversation. And what I mean by that is we're making it all up. Now, we're not making up what is or what's going on, but we're making up our meaning to what's going on through the thought that we create about that. So, given that that's the truth, and just hold it as it is and go out, try it on, see if it fits. Your job, and this is your paper, so you're writing down, my job is to make up a conversation, meaning that empowers me. That's your job. To make up a thought or meaning that empowers you. Now, what do I mean by empowers you? Maybe ask. So let's use this chart. This is a chart that I use for my clients, and it's called a mood chart, basically. That's why it says mood chart on the top. But basically what happens is all of these feelings that we create here are attached to this attraction level. So if you're in a gratitude, positive action, high optimism, you're in the high level. If you're in reserved or mild optimism, etc., you're in the mid-level. And if you're in overwhelm or martyrdom or any of those levels, you're in the low level. And so when I talk about creating meanings that empower you, I mean creating meanings that bring you up to this higher level. Because again, the law of attraction says wherever your frequency is, you're going to attract from the universe. So if you're in this high level, grateful, etc., you're going to attract more things out there in the universe that to be grateful for. If you're in the low level and remorse and detached and so on, you're going to create more things that are going to make you detached or remorseful. And so our job is to make up meanings that empower us. And our feelings are attached to what our thoughts are. And our thoughts are the things that we make up that create those feelings. So if you're on a feeling down here, look at your thought and then find out where you're putting your thought, change the thought for something that brings you up here. And the interesting thing is you have a gauge within you to tell you how you're doing with that. And that's how you feel. So your job is to feel up here in the high level the majority of time. So by doing that, you're going to attract more of those things. Now, this is like any other muscle that you're going to use. If you haven't used your bicep muscle in a while and you go into a gym and start doing curls with dumbbells, well, you're going to be a little atrophied there. It's going to be hard. But the more that you work that muscle, the more you're going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. And the same thing with when you work this mind. You're going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. So this is an opportunity today to start creating your meanings in alignment with what it is that would bring you up, rather than create your meanings in alignment with what will bring you down. And you will attract more things that are up. Now, again, you'll know how you're doing by how you feel. And again, the observation of that something is we're not making up that something is what we're seeing. We're just making up our meanings to that thing that we're seeing. We have to make up our meanings that empower us, bring us up to the high level of this mood chart, rather than creating meanings that bring us down or to the lower level of this mood chart. Now, again, this is really as simple as I can make it, but it's the way the law of attraction works. And I've heard so many different similar opportunities to explain the law of attraction, but again, it really doesn't give us these principles. That's what I like to do in my coaching practice. I share very simple principles by which my clients can practice so that they can master how it is that they want to create the goals out there in their lives. Now, I used to get very frustrated when I was talking to people and people were talking to me about what I needed to do. I was working on myself for a lot of years, and a lot of people would tell me what to do, but they wouldn't share with me how to do it. My work is all about how to do these things. And the more that you learn how to do it, the more you'll get to understand the principles and practice those principles that will help you towards your goals. I want to ask you one more thing, if you would, for me. If you see value in this video, go ahead and share it with maybe your feed or other people. If you like it, go ahead and like it. If you have a comment, go ahead and put a comment on there. And if you want to get in touch with me, then go to our website, thepowertechnology.org. And there'll be some information about how you can find out about how I've been helping my clients over the last 32 years get more out of their lives in all the areas that were important to them. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and get in touch with me. I'll be glad to set up a free consultation and self-analysis. But in the meantime, practice, practice, practice these 4 steps. Observe something, you create a meaning to that something, you create a feeling out of that thought, that meaning or that feeling creates an emotion, emotion creates a frequency, frequency attracts similar frequencies. Start with the thoughts, keep them up. You'll know how you're doing. If you have any questions or you want to bounce anything off me, just get back in touch with me. Well, I look forward to talking to you again. It's been great to be with you. Go out there and make it a great day. And then we're going to end this recording as we speak. Bye now.